Buonasera a tutti, bentornati al Wired Fest. Oggi è stata una giornata fitta. Abbiamo parlato di intelligenza artificiale come modifica tantissimi settori della nostra vita, dall'agricoltura alla musica liquida. E adesso parliamo di trasporti, quindi come l'intelligenza artificiale, come i dati possono aiutarci per migliorare il nostro modo di guidare, per evitare incidenti, per migliorare insomma la nostra situazione quando siamo nel traffico. Lo facciamo con Eran Shir, che è un fisico israeliano che si è specializzato negli anni in dati, Internet of Things, criptomonete e che attualmente ha una startup che si chiama Nexar, che ha proprio come l'obiettivo quello di rivoluzionare il nostro modo di utilizzare i trasporti attraverso i dati e l'intelligenza artificiale. Mr. Shir, the stage is yours.
Hey guys. Thanks for having me. Really appreciate it. I'm going to talk to you today a bit about what we do at Nexar, how we try to basically get rid of car collisions, okay? Making driving safer. So we'll start with a short video about Nexar, just to get a quick overview. You'll see we're going to do a few videos on the way.
Watch out. Vehicle stopped ahead of you. Watch out. Vehicle stopped ahead of you.
Okay, so this is what we do. We're basically building an intelligent vehicle-to-vehicle network that connects all the vehicles in real time so that they can predict and prevent collisions. And that's really the mission of the company. All right? And what's cool about what happened in the last few years is that these devices that all of you have become so strong, so capable, that we can actually solve this problem as an app. We can actually solve it by just going to the App Store, downloading an app, and using the compute capabilities, the sensors that you have on the network. It's just that cheap. You don't have to buy a new BMW or Mercedes in order to get the most advanced technology available. Now, we've been doing it for a couple of years. We launched the app on the App Store about a year ago. And since then, we've collected over 40 million miles of video. We've collected over 2 million dangerous and crazy events. And this is extremely valuable when you're using techniques like deep learning in order to understand what's around us. Okay, so we have deployed deep learning both on device, in the app, also on the cloud. And that allows us to see the world, and really understand it. This is how Nexar sees the world. We can detect vehicles, we can detect pedestrians, we can detect them at night, we can detect them in snow, we can detect traffic lights and a bunch of other things. The reason that we can do all of that is because deep learning is the first really scalable AI technology. What I mean by that is the more data you provide, the better your algorithm will actually perform. And that is something that wasn't true before, and it is true right now. You actually get a great ROI on collecting more and more data. Not just about more data, it's about richer, more valuable data. Okay? So, what do we do with all of this? In order to really deal with all of the craziness that happens on the road, you need all of these rare events. We collect them. We do sensor fusion and collect them. We have a system in the cloud that actually trains our models. And from that, we can understand the world better. So I just want to show you for a second what I call these rare, crazy events. So this is just a small sample. We can actually open a TV channel just for these kind of things. So we have all of this data. We build a technology that leverages this data, and that allows us to really understand the world. We can see it. We can understand what the driver that's in the car is actually doing. You can see that at the top there when he starts accelerating, and then when he will brake in a second because of that pickup truck that is cutting. All of this you can understand, and now you can start reacting. But more than that, you can actually report it back to everyone else. So one level is to say, a car ahead of you is braking, please brake or you'll hit it. That's great. And there are actually many cars today that provide that feature. But then what we are adding to that is all of these vehicles are talking to one another in real time, in 100 milliseconds. So you're on the highway, 5 cars ahead of you, someone is doing a hard brake, and you get the warning immediately, okay? And can start braking instead of getting into these pileups of collisions. This is an example of an actual collision. What you see here, someone hit this car in the rear. Okay? So we don't see in the video how it was hit because it was hit in the rear. But using our sensor fusion, we can actually recreate the collision. What does that mean? It means that we can provide the driver with a reconstruction of the collision. We can say, someone hit you at 3.3 G. There's 40% chance you're going to get whiplash. You're going to hurt your neck. Here's, of course, the location, the imagery, the analysis of that collision, so you can tie it in a nice bow, send it to your insurance company, and forget it ever happened. Okay? This is what we're providing today. Again, just with an app running on your smartphone. And the drivers love it. Let me show you what it means.
For myself.
These are drivers from New York
You plug in
that use
and
Nexar.
Nexar is on.
When you start moving, it automatically starts recording.
If something happens, it's saved automatically.
And a crazy maniac driver came over, started yelling at me, kicked my car, held over a police car, showed them the Nexar footage, and they arrested the individual.
I highly recommend it to anybody who is in the professional business.
I don't feel comfortable driving without Nexar anymore.
Okay, so these are sound drivers that use Nexar today. So we have intelligence at the car level, but then we thought, wait, we can actually collect all of this intelligence and provide a layer of intelligence to an entire city. Why just a single car? And that's what we did with CityStream. CityStream is basically a set of services, an API, you could say, that tracks everything that's going on in the city and provides alerts. Okay, so what kind of alerts? Things like garbage trucks in Manhattan, things like school buses, things like walks on the road, double parking, free parking, a bunch of different things that we can use our machine vision to detect and then provide. Let me show you what it means. Yay.
Every day, we're bringing smart, life-saving technology where it's needed the most, to drivers in cities around the world. But starting today, Nexar is launching something new that will thrust your city into the digital age. Introducing CityStream by Nexar, a solution that digitizes your entire city. CityStream leverages the anonymous data from mobile AI cameras of drivers throughout the city. With CityStream, every vehicle on the road becomes a sensor that visually scans the urban landscape in real time to yield constantly updated insights. The onboard AI constantly analyzes the scene, and when objects of interest or real-time events are detected, an update is sent to the Nexar CityStream data platform and its subscribers. Once digitized, a city is open to a world of new applications, like optimized driving routes, identifying and fixing road infrastructure, solving traffic gridlocks, or finding vacant parking spots. The result is a city that is smarter, safer, and efficient for its citizens. It's time for an urban update. Contact us to get access to your city's information over our data platform. CityStream by Nexar.
So that is a CityStream, and these are the kind of things that we can provide with it. We can provide you with information about dangerous hotspots, where many collisions or near collisions happen in your particular place, in your particular city. We can detect all of the potholes in the city, and actually tell you what is the level of importance of different potholes, which is useful. But like I said, we can also employ vision. In this case, we are detecting every garbage truck in Manhattan so that companies like Waze and Via will actually reroute their vehicles around the streets where right now there is a garbage truck kind of blocking the traffic. And you can actually connect multiple cameras to see something together. So that's basically what we're building. What we're envisioning is a new transportation operating system for the road to try to make sense of all of this craziness and do this quickly and start making a dent in the collisions and accidents that all of us kind of feel as we drive. And that's Nexar. But I wanted to use this opportunity to also talk about entrepreneurship and AI for a minute in a broader sense. So before I do that, I would like to ask how many of the people here are entrepreneurs or want to be entrepreneurs? Actually putting up startups, interested in that. So I want to say that we are in a beginning of a new era when it comes to building new services, building new companies. And that new era is enabled by a really important disruption in AI with technologies like deep learning that make it actually relatively easy to do very powerful things. AI is very powerful. But like they say, with great power comes great responsibility, okay? And what is the entrepreneur's responsibility? The entrepreneur's responsibility, in my mind, is to shoot for the moon. Yeah, you can use AI to figure out if something is a hot dog or not a hot dog. How many of people here watch Silicon Valley, the show? Okay, so you'll get the joke. But you actually want to do something more meaningful with your time, okay? Building a startup is so hard as it is. You might as well do something useful with it. And with that, I want to say, provide a few tips that hopefully will convince you to try and do something really big, something that is, in the realm of what people call moonshotting, okay? So how do you tackle these really massive problems? We picked our problem, which is we want to get rid of car collisions quickly, okay? That's sort of our problem that we solved. I have a friend that is building a company that's trying to automate the understanding of medical imagery, okay? And detect early all kinds of cancer, okay? That's something that I think is also definitely worthwhile. So how do you do that practically? Because you look at these problems, they're so big, okay? So there are few recommendations. First of all, slay a dragon. What do I mean by slay a dragon? You want to go after something really big, but you don't want to go straight against the fire, right? Start with a tail. What do I mean by that? Okay, let's take email as an example. Email is a huge dragon, okay? Everyone used email. It's sort of embedded into our society. How you get rid of it? How many of the people here try to use more than one email client in the last 3 years? Okay? Quite a few, right? We keep on trying something more optimized, and it never really, sticks. I know I tried a dozen. And then there comes a company called Slack. They have nothing to do with email, right? They're just doing these chats within the organization. But what effectively happens is that no one sends an email anymore. Inside my organization, inside my company, it's very rare that we send any email. So you go after the dragon, but you don't go directly. You go, from the side. You go and solve a problem that if you'll be successful, it will have an impact. But you don't have to go directly. And then the next point is you want to find a wilderness. The benefit of really hard problems is that almost no one tries to solve them. So you don't get any competition. Startups hate competition. Competition is really bad. You don't want to be in a competitive situation. So you go after something like rockets, right? So you don't have any competition, and you can get a bunch of the best people that really want to work on rockets. But they don't have any place to work because NASA is defunded, etc. And you get them to work with you, and you can actually go and solve that problem. The other thing that you need to be is a great storyteller. Okay? You really need to invest in the skill of telling a story. And then probably the most important thing is you want to focus on base camps. Okay? On the way to the summit, you want to focus on base camp. You don't want to go now into the lab for 10 years, and then in 10 years come and say, oh, I built this amazing mobile phone that is better than everything else, and everyone else have moved to VR, right? So you want to be very connected to reality. You want to start something that actually will build a business that will get you to the next level and to the next level, okay? A great example of that is actually getting to the moon, right? This is the energy well of getting to the moon, and what you can see here in the middle there is where the satellites are. And if you look at it, you'll see that if you get to shoot a satellite, like a geocentric satellite, a communication satellite, you're pretty much 90% of the way to the moon, okay? Getting from the orbit of a satellite to the moon is nothing. It's like nonsense. But you need multiple engines to do that. And in the same way, as a startup, think about what is your first engine, especially if you want to do something that is crowdsourced, okay? One of the biggest mistakes that I see is that people are building a service that will be great if there'll be 1 million users, okay? But what you need is for it to be great for the one user, and the second one, and the third one. And then when you get to 1,000, 10,000, 100,000, 1 million, then new values come in, you get new features, and that's great. So, the end of the day, what I would say is, seize the moment, all of us are here for a short while, might as well use it. AI is amazing to go imagine something new that can actually benefit humanity and go after it, chase it. And with that, I will conclude. Thank you.